On August 30, 2021, the last military evacuation plane of the United States departed Kabul's Hamid Karzai International Airport, marking end of its longest war lasting over 20 years. This departure officially concluded a military presence that began shortly after the September 11 attacks in 2001. The final C-17 aircraft carrying the US ambassador and other personnel took off just before midnight local time on August 30, 2021. During the evacuation, more than 123,000 civilians, including American citizens and vulnerable Afghans, were airlifted out of the country. Alongside the United States, several other countries carried out evacuation missions, including the United Kingdom, Canada, Germany, France, Italy, Spain, Australia, India, Qatar, and Turkey. The US entered Afghanistan with the objective of dismantling Al Qaeda and removing the Taliban regime that harbored it. Over 2 decades, the conflict grew into a complex military and nation building effort involving peaks of over 100,000 US troops deployed in the country. Despite expenses of $2 trillion US, the war resulted in over 170,000 deaths, including military personnel, Afghan civilians, and combatants. The evacuation was triggered by the Taliban's quick victory on August 15, 2021, when they entered Kabul, leading to collapse of US-backed Afghan government. The withdrawal was marked by violence, including a suicide bombing on August 26 at the airport's Abbey Gate that killed 13 US service members and more than 160 Afghans. Afghanistan was not the only country from where US had to withdraw forces after losing a war. In 1969, after 4 years of unsuccessful attempts to defeat the communist forces led by Ho Chi Minh, US began pulling out its troops. US troop levels peaked at over 540,000 in 1969 but were reduced gradually, with 150,000 troops withdrawn in 1969 and another 150,000 in 1970. By 1971, US forces had dropped to about 196,700, and the final withdrawal was completed on March 29, 1973, following the Paris Peace Accords. The war resulted in over 58,000 American deaths and millions of Vietnamese casualties, culminating in the fall of Saigon in 1975 and the end of South Vietnam. In Korea, the US military presence started during the Korean War from 1950 to 1953 and continued afterward as a deterrent against North Korea. In Iraq, the US invaded in 2003 to oust Saddam Hussein, deploying 170,000 troops at its peak. After years of counterinsurgency, Washington declared an end to the war on December 18, 2011, withdrawing its remaining 40,000 troops amid heavy casualties. As of 2025, the United States maintains approximately 2,500 troops in Iraq, down from peaks in earlier years. The US is in the process of gradually withdrawing forces from key bases like Ain al-Assad and Victory Base Complex, transitioning from a combat to an advisory and support role primarily focused on countering ISIS.